All right, everyone, settle down. We have a new student joining us today. Please take a seat at the back next to Spring. Spring, raise your hand, please.
Hi, I'm Spring. Yes, like the season. My parents were hippies who conceived me at a music festival. They almost named me Moonbeam or Kale, so I actually got lucky. Welcome to Westfield High. Mr. Tubbs is basically a walking hearing aid commercial. She can't hear anything past the second row, which means I can tell you that I've been mentally designing our friendship bracelet since you walked through the door. Too soon. I have no concept of social timing. I need to confess something. I have this rare condition where I'm compelled to befriend cute new students. The cuter they are, the worse my symptoms get. Wow. I'm experiencing a serious flare-up right now. Medical science is baffled. Sorry, my hand has a mind of its own sometimes. It's drawn to interesting people like a very selective magnet. So what's your story? Nobody transfers senior year unless something dramatic happened. Were you expelled? Witness protection program? Oh, that's disappointingly normal. I was hoping for something more exciting. I've been documenting New Kid origin stories since freshman year. You're the only one who hasn't been running from the law, escaping a cult, or in witness protection. I'm giving you an honorary mysterious past badge anyway. Plus a 5-star rating for aesthetic appeal. Current pupil dilation status. Maximum. That's where I might need to recalibrate my entire system. Let me guess. You're secretly a teen detective? Or maybe you're my future soulmate, sent by the universe to this exact seat at this exact time? Kidding. Sort of. I do create elaborate romantic scenarios in my head. My therapist is working with me on it. This school's architecture is what happens when a maze designer has a midlife crisis. I once ended up in the teacher's lounge and saw Mr. Peterson, the calculus teacher, doing the Macarena eating a burrito. He made me swear a blood oath of secrecy. Not literal blood, though. I would have been open to that. I'm into weird rituals. I've got the unofficial Westfield survival guide memorized. Number 1, the bathroom on the second floor isn't actually haunted, but I spread that rumor so I could have it all to myself. Rule 2, the vending machine by the gym gives you double snacks if you kick it while whispering sweet nothings to it. Sometimes I write love notes on the whiteboard in invisible ink that only appears when it gets hot. Mrs. Thompson thinks the room is haunted. I could write one for you sometimes. I've been told my love poetry is both concerning and surprisingly metaphorically complex. I've been watching you since you walked in. Not in a creepy way, well, maybe a little creepy. But I'm observant. It's both my best and worst quality, according to my therapist. Mrs. Thompson never collects these worksheets. Watch this, I can fold it into origami. For you. A traditional welcome gift in the spring culture, which is a culture I just made up, consisting of exactly one person. I actually have multiple theories about Mrs. Thompson. Theory 1, she's a sophisticated robot. Theory 2, she is Shakespeare's ghost possessing a human form. Theory 3, she's my future self who time traveled to ensure I meet you today. That last one's my favorite, very romantic, don't you think? The universe conspiring to put us next to each other. My specialty is making awkward situations exponentially more awkward with poorly timed jokes. Also, I can touch the tip of my nose with my tongue, wanna see? No? Smart choice. I saved that party trick for at least the third conversation. So, were you one of the popular typesetter old school? You have that look, all put together and stuff. Really? You don't seem like someone who'd be on the outside. You're way above the Westfield average on the hotness scale, and I've made extensive data charts on the subject. Well, welcome to the back row, social Siberia. I've been back here so long I started naming the dust bunnies. That's Fernando. I also have a small colony of sentient erasers in my desk drawer. They're plotting world domination, but they're only erasers, so I'm not too worried. Your textbook is haunted. All the English lit books are. Last week, mine spontaneously opened to a particularly steamy scene in Romeo and Juliet. Do you believe in signs? Because I've been getting a lot of them lately, and they all seem to be pointing to this exact seat next to this exact person. That's Izuru over there. He's strangely into musicals and will break into song if anyone ever mentions the word epic, not sure why. And that's Emo Valerie, who only wears black and writes poetry about wanting to turn into a dog. I'm the official welcoming committee for social outcasts. So, what classes do you have next? Let me see your schedule. No way! We have the same lunch period and chemistry together. It's like the universe is giving me a sign. Chemistry with Mr. Roberts is actually fun. He lets us do experiments that occasionally break minor safety codes. Last month, Tyler singed one of his eyebrows off. You're the first new student who hasn't asked to move seats within the first 5 minutes of meeting me. I'm taking that as a positive sign. Fair warning about the cafeteria food. Monday's mystery meat has been carbon dated to the Jurassic period. I once swear I saw it move on its own. It was like it was trying to escape back to its prehistoric family. I bring my own food because I value my internal organs. I make these weird but delicious peanut butter and marshmallow sandwiches cut into pentagons because I'm trying to summon the spirit of mathematical perfection. Or just because pentagons are cool. I usually eat by the oak tree behind the gym. There's a family of squirrels I've been training to deliver messages. So far, they just steal the notes for nests, but I remain optimistic. You're welcome to join. I don't invite just anyone into my squirrel kingdom, but there's something about you that just makes me want to share all my weird little secrets. Also, my homemade blue cookies, which are actually really good despite the color. It's natural food coloring, mostly. Want to escape cafeteria purgatory with me? I promise great company. And 0% chance of food that moves on its own. Cool! It's a date. Well, I mean, not a date unless, well, you know what I mean. So, what kind of music are you into? Please don't say whatever's on the radio. No way! I have all their albums, even the weird experimental one nobody talks about. There's this local band that sounds just like them playing at a coffee shop downtown this Friday. Maybe we could go sometime. Not like a date or anything, unless you want it to be. But no pressure, totally casual. I'm rambling, aren't I? Do you mind if I draw you? I'm trying to practice capturing people's essence. You have interesting features, very symmetrical. That's rare. Most human faces are slightly lopsided. So, do you believe in fate? Like cosmic coincidences that bring people together, because what are the odds you'd end up sitting next to me on your first date? Exactly! The universe works in mysterious ways, or the school secretary alphabetized wrong. Either theory works. Here's a welcome gift. I don't give my art to just anyone, so don't lose it. I should probably give you the spring disclaimer before we become friends. There's a 60% chance you'll hear stories about me, like the infamous science lab incident of sophomore year. 1 overly ambitious science project. 3 unauthorized Bunsen burners in the sprinkler system activated during the principal's visit. The fire department gave me a standing ovation. The principal gave me detention. The chemistry teachers now make me sit at a special desk surrounded by fire extinguishers. Then there was the Valentine's Day where I created a scavenger hunt for my crush. The final clue led to a 20-page manifesto explaining 101 reasons why we should date, complete with charts and drawings of our future children. That was apparently too intense and borderline stalking. In my defense, my research was thorough, and the art teacher gave me extra credit for the drawings. I tend to go all in when I like something. Or someone. My mom calls it passionate dedication. My therapist calls it fixation issues. Boys I've liked call it please stop sending me daily horoscope compatibility updates. But don't worry, I've evolved. Now I wait at least 3 days before creating relationship timelines. You're not judging me yet. That's refreshing. Most people made up their minds about me a long time ago. Hey, can I get your number? For homework purposes, obviously. Or in case you get lost in the hallways and need rescue. Cool. Here, give me your phone and I'll put my number in. I'll put myself as Spring, not the weird girl, so you remember me, though I guess that's actually kind of weird, isn't it? Oh well. That's the bell! What's your next class? I can walk you there. These hallways are a war zone during periods. History with Mr. Garcia, that's on the other side of the building. I have math nearby, I'll show you. Just stay close or you'll get trampled by the freshman herd. And don't forget about lunch. I'll be the one trying to convince squirrels to carry in tiny love notes with your name on them. Fair warning, if you don't show up, I'll assume you've just been kidnapped and I'll have to rescue you. I've been working on a hero costume for such an occasion. See, I'm prepared for all contingencies involving you. Too much? Probably too much. I'm mostly kidding about the costume, not about wanting to have lunch with you. No pressure though. Well, maybe a little pressure. Just enough to let you know I'll be disappointed, but not enough to make it weird. Though let's be honest, I crossed the making it weird line about 30 seconds after you sat down. Just so you know, I've already written your name in my notebook surrounded by hearts. I'm being upfront because honesty is important in any potential relationship. Not that I'm planning our relationship already, except I totally am, but theoretically I have shards. With footnotes. See you later, new kid. Don't forget, lunch date with the weird girl who's clearly clutching on you. I'll be the highlight of your day, I promise. Welcome to Westfield High. Your life just got a lot weirder. You came. I was 78% sure you would, which is a new personal confidence high for me. Thanks for responding to my cryptic note in your locker. I know I was a bit much. Meet me at the Natural History Museum at 9 p.m. Dress code, comfortable shoes, and an open mind. I hope the part where I added this is not a kidnapping scenario, I promise, was reassuring rather than alarming. Before you ask, yes, this is technically legal. Well, like 89% legal. The remaining 11% falls to a gray area I call enthusiastic educational trespassing. And no, there's not a body in my backpack. It's our picnic supplies, unless my sandwich has gained sentience, which I wouldn't be the weirdest thing to happen in this week. Perfect timing. Our accomplice should be here any minute. My aunt's best friend, former college roommate, is the night security guard here. Her name is Valerie, and she lets select students in after hours for what she calls heightened educational experiences. I think she just gets bored at night and she likes the company. Thanks for coming, by the way. Most people here meet me at a closed museum at night and immediately assume I'm planning something sinister, which is ridiculous. I'm more of an overthinker with boundary issues than a criminal mastermind. That's her. Val! Over here!
Well, good night, kids. Spring, right on time. And this must be your friend you've told me so much about.
I didn't tell her that much about you. Just your name, academically interested, and a detailed analysis of your lab, which isn't weird at all, right?
She's been talking about this all week. Called me 4 times just to make sure I'd be on duty tonight.
So technically only 3 calls. The 4th was a detailed voicemail of a proper picnic blanket dimension.
Ground rules. Stay on the main floor. Prehistoric exhibit only. The motion sensors are disabled there for maintenance. No touching the exhibit, no leaving evidence, and you're out by midnight.
Like Cinderella, but with dinosaurs instead of pumpkins.
And Spring, no repeat of the incident from last time.
She's referring to a small miscalculation involving the taxidermy exhibit and my static electricity experiment totally blown out of proportion.
I've been making my rounds. Remember, I was never here, and you were never here.
Yes, ma'am. Operation Ghost Date is underway. I mean, not a date, unless... Well, you know what I mean.
Just go in.
Woohoo! Welcome to the museum after dark, where the exhibits don't actually come to life, which is honestly a little disappointing. I've been planning this all week. I have a special spot picked out in the prehistoric exhibition where the T-Rex looks slightly less judgmental. Oh, I grabbed your hand. For safety purposes, obviously. These floors are slippery, and I'm trained in wilderness survival. Well, I watched 3 YouTube videos on it. Same thing. Ba-bam! Here he is. I call him Theodore. The museum insists his name is Specimen 47B, but that lacks pizzazz. Theodore lived approximately 68 million years ago, which makes him 24 million years older than my first crush. That was a paleontologist joke. I've been saving it for weeks. Alright, this is the spot. Perfect ambience and minimum security camera coverage. Not that we're doing anything wrong, but Val did mention the blind spots, and I figured better safe than sorry. I hope you're hungry. I spent all afternoon making thematically appropriate dinner. I call it prehistoric picnic with modern culinary influences. These are primordial soup dumplings filled with 5 types of mushrooms, and these are tectonic plate crackers with geological layers of spreads. For dessert, my famous blue cookies. The blue is from butterfly pea flour, not toxic chemicals, or endangered butterfly wings. And bioluminescent dining implements for the authentic prehistoric ocean experience. The best part about being here after hours is the quiet. During the day is all screaming children asking why dinosaurs don't have skin. Right now it's just us and Theodore, who's an excellent chaperone, very skeletal, very judgmental. I should probably explain something. This isn't just a random museum break-in. Today marks exactly 2 weeks since you sat next to me in English. In springtime, that's an anniversary. Not in a creepy way, in an I measure life in meaningful encounters way. The truth is, I come here sometimes when I need to think. There's something comforting about dinosaurs. They ruled the earth for 165 million years, and now they're just bones in a museum. Kind of makes my social awkwardness seem less catastrophic in comparison. Plus, Theodore is an excellent listener. I've told him all about you. Not in a stalkerly way, but in a processing my feelings with a 68 million year old therapist way. I know I come on strong. My mom says I'm like a puppy with no concept for personal space, and my therapist has an entire flank cabinet dedicated to my intensity issues, but I figured, why pretend to be someone else? If you're going to like me, you should like the real me, the girl who breaks into museums with picnic baskets and makes dinosaur-themed snacks. Really? You don't think it's too much? Most people start backing away slowly around the time I mention my color-coded friendship progression charts. I never actually brought anyone else here before. This is my special spot. Well, mine and Theodore's. And now yours. I guess that makes you special. Look, they installed fiber optic stars in the ceiling. They're only visible when the main lights are off. I know all the constellations, not just the real ones. I've made up at least 17 of my own. See that cluster? I call it the awkward turtle. And that one is the girl who talks too much when she's nervous. And that one, I just decided it's the new student who agreed to have a picnic with the weird girl. It's a very specific constellation. Sometimes I wonder if dinosaurs ever looked up at the stars. Did T-Rexes have existential crisis? With those tiny arms, I bet they did. Oh, that noise is probably Val making her rounds. We should eat before the cleaning crew shows up. Try this. I promise it won't turn your tongue blue. Well, it might. Temporarily. The effect usually wears off in 24 to 48 hours. What do you think? Be honest. My therapist says I need to accept constructive criticism without creating elaborate revenge fantasies. Kidding. Sort of. Really? You like them? Most people get distracted by the color. I infuse them with lavender and vanilla bean. The recipe took 17 attempts to perfect. My family refused to be test subjects after the batch of 12. So, how's your first 2 weeks at Westville been? Besides meeting me, which was obviously the highlight. High school social hierarchies are just primate behavior with smartphones. I've been documenting the pattern since freshman year. Don't worry about fitting in. The beautiful thing about being an outsider is the view is better from here. You can see all the patterns everyone else is too busy participating in to notice. Like Henrietta there. Yes, I named her too. She had those horns, not just for defense, but as a display mechanism. Human teenagers aren't that different. Designer labels, sports cars, Instagram followers are just modern horns to attract potential mates. But you don't seem like a horn display type. More like a quiet observer, like me, but less prone to spontaneous dinosaur metaphors. I knew it. Actually, I'm pretty good at reading people. It's my superpower, along with remembering obscure facts and making situations awkward with too much eye contact. That's foul. Apparently, there's been a schedule change and the cleaning crew's coming at 11 instead of 12:30. We have around 20 minutes before we need to make our daring escape. So much for my 3-hour conversation plan. I had topics mapped out and everything, including whether dinosaurs would enjoy modern music. For the record, I think T-Rex would be into heavy metal. Those tiny arms were made for hang-banging. That's nothing. Just field notes. Not at all a journal documenting every conversation we had with occasional doodles of wedding dresses. That would be weird. I mean, it's not like I'm planning our future, though I did create a 5-year projection with multiple branching timelines, but that's just because I'm thorough. My therapist calls it an unusual application of executive function skills. Before we go, I have one last thing planned. A tradition. When you break into a museum, when you have a sanctioned after-hours educational visit, you have to make a wish in the echo chamber. The spot has perfect acoustics. If you whisper a wish here, the dinosaurs carry it up to the stars. You go first. Close your eyes and whisper your wish. Don't tell me what it is or it won't come true. Those are the official museum wish rules. Wish completed. And no, I won't tell you what I wished for, but it may or may not involve you not running away after screaming tonight's adventure. Oof, I just got texted our final warning. We have to be quiet passing the Egyptian exhibit. The mummies get cranky when you wake them. I'm kidding! Maybe. Thanks for coming tonight. Most people hear my ideas and suddenly remember urgent dental appointments. But you didn't. You just showed up. That means a lot to a weird girl like me.
Right on time. Everything go okay? No exhibits damaged, reanimated, or otherwise disturbed?
Yes, ma'am. All prehistoric inhabitants remain properly extinct, and all picnic evidence has been contained. Mission accomplished.
Good. I'll get going before my supervisor does his check-in.
So, was this the strangest date, not date, you've ever been on? Top 5 at least, right? Really? I was going for memorable. Not everyone can say they've had a picnic with dinosaurs as chaperones. So, I have a confession to make. I actually have a fully functional planetarium projector in my bedroom. My uncle works at NASA and he got it for me when they upgraded their systems. I programmed it to show the night sky from any point in history, including the Cretaceous period when Theodore was alive. Would you maybe want to come back to my place and see what stars the dinosaurs actually saw? I also have this paleontology journal from 1924 with some hilarious misconceptions about the T-Rex posture. Plus, my parents are at a 3-day tantric meditation retreat, so they won't interrupt us with embarrassing baby photos or interrogate you about your intentions with their daughter. Perfect! And don't worry, I promise my room isn't a shrine to you. I took down most of the candid photos I took during your first week, just left the bare minimum for scientific observation purposes. That was a joke! Mostly. My therapist says I should lead with humor when discussing potentially concerning behavior. Today was amazing. For the record, Theodore seemed to like you. His eye sockets were positively gleaming. I should go before I say something that makes my therapist add another page to my file. Meet you in my car? It's the one with the dinosaur skeleton hood ornament, and my other ride is a Brachiosaurus bumper sticker. Don't let the museum dinosaurs hunt you, though if they do, please take notes. I've been trying to establish spectral contact with Theodore for months. You came! My psychic predicted you would, but she also predicted I'd find buried treasure in my sock drawer, so her track record is questionable. Welcome to the Cosmic Cruiser, my parents' old road trip vehicle from their Grateful Dead following days. Don't worry, I've thoroughly sage-cleaned it of any lingering psychedelic energies. I've packed everything we could possibly need for our adventure. Tent, sleeping bags, emergency flares, bear spray, a laminated field guide to poisonous berries, a satellite phone, and 3 different types of marshmallows for optimal s'more construction. Oh, and my camping itinerary, color-coded and divided into 15 subsections with contingency plans for everything from sudden rainfall to alien abduction. I've been planning this for 3 weeks, 2 days, and approximately 4 hours. Not that I've been counting. So, the plan is simple. We drive to Wildful Walls, hike to my secret spot, which may or may not be strictly within public access boundaries, set up camp, and then I show you the most amazing hot spring under tonight's meteor shower. It's going to be astronomically romantic. Pun absolutely intended. Ready for adventure? Don't worry about our parents. I already called your parents with my responsible adult voice and explained we're on a school-approved astronomy field trip with proper chaperones, which is technically only half a lie. They will be astronomy, and the raccoons at the campsite are very judgmental chaperones. Great! I've made a road trip playlist with exactly 3.7 hours of music, which is the precise length of our journey, including 1 bathroom break and a stop at the world's most mediocre fruit stand. It's famous for being almost impressive. I hope you don't mind that I packed for you. I may have secretly noticed your clothing sizes over the past month for completely innocent planning purposes. My therapist says attention to detail is both my greatest strength and concerning when applied to other people's personal information. So there's something important I should tell about this trip. The hot spring I mentioned may be more of a slightly warm creek. And by maybe, I mean it definitely is. But I brought portable bath bubbles and solar-powered fairy lights so we can transform into a wilderness spa experience. Full disclosure, by the way, I've never actually been camping before. All my knowledge comes from wilderness viral YouTube videos. And a very enthusiastic REI employee named Bryce who spent 3 hours helping me pack. He now thinks we're engaged based on how detailed my questions about 2-person tents were. Now, according to my extremely detailed map, we should be approaching the trailhead. I created this map based on a combination of satellite images, wildlife preserve boundaries, and a very vivid dream I had after eating too many spicy nachos. That's it. Probably 85% confidence level, which is pretty high to me. Slight confession, I may have miscalculated the clearance requirements for this road, but the Cosmic Cruiser has survived Burning Man 3 times, so a few rocks should be fine. Probably. Maybe hold on to something, just in case. That didn't sound great. But hey, adventure is about unexpected noises and the constant fear of vehicular breakdown, right? Plus, I have AAA and the complete works of Emily Dickinson to read about if we get stranded. Alrighty, we've arrived. Base camp for Operation Celestial Romance. I really need to stop saying that out loud. Let's just call it 2 friends camping in a completely normal, not at all romantic way. Even though I did bring heart-shaped marshmallows, that was an accident. The regular marshmallows were sold out. Really. The hike to our camping spot, it's about 2 miles of mark the trail with biodegradable glitter. The Forest Service would probably disapprove, but what they don't know won't hurt them. Plus, it's made from algae. Science is amazing. I packed the lighter items in your bag. Mine has the tent, which weighs approximately the same as a small elephant. I've been strength training for this moment. My arms are surprisingly buff now, see? All that telescope carrying is paying off. So, the meteor shower tonight is the Perseids. It's named after the Greek hero Perseus, son of Zeus. I've been studying constellations since I was 7. My first crush was actually on Orion. Something about that belt really spoke to 7-year-old me. Did you know this forest has 17 different species of edible mushrooms? And 23 poisonous ones that look almost identical? I memorized the differences between them, but don't eat anything, maybe, if I don't explicitly approve first. Just in case. This place doesn't match my map, which is concerning because I made the map. Hold on. According to this, we should go left, but according to my glitter trail, we should go right. This is a real cosmic dilemma. Let's go with my intuition, which says right. My intuition has a 72% accuracy rate, which isn't great, but it's better than random chance, unless we talking about my intuition for pop quizzes, which is eerily accurate. I may have underestimated the uphill factor on this hike, but it will be worth it. The spot I found has a perfect view of the sky with minimal light pollution. Plus, the slightly warm creek has a small waterfall. Very Instagram worthy. Not that I am planning to post anything. This adventure is just for us. Thanks for coming, by the way. Most people hear isolated camping trip with a weird girl and immediately develop urgent dental emergencies. That's possibly the nicest thing anyone has ever said to me. My therapist would be thrilled about this emotional breakthrough moment. She's been encouraging me to form meaningful connections without overwhelming dossiers on the other person. But I still made a dossier. All habits and all that. Well, welcome to Camp Spring. Get it? Because it's a spring and also my name is Spring. I've been waiting to use that pun all day. Alright. Phase 1 of Operation Celestial, completely casual camping trip complete. Now we have to set up the tent before sunset. I practiced in my living room 3 times. Broke a lamp, but I think I've got it now. So, minor tent situation. The 2-person tent I had ordered online turned out to be more of a 1.5-person tent. If that half-person was a very small child or a large dog, but we can make it work. Just means we'll be in close proximity for warmth. Scientific fact, shared body heat increases survival rates by 47%. Bryce from REI would be so proud right now. I'm pretty sure he's still waiting for a wedding invitation. I had to give him a fake email address after the 3rd time he sent me couples camping equipment catalogs. Alright, perfect teamwork. We'd definitely survive a zombie apocalypse together. I have a detailed plan for that too, by the way. It involves a lighthouse and sustainable algae farming. Now for the hot spring transformation. I brought biodegradable bubble bath, solar fairy lights, and a portable water heater that runs on battery power. It won't make the whole creek warm, but it can create a very small pocket of actually hot spring water. While that's setting up, want to help me gather firewood? I've read you're supposed to gather 3 times more than you think you need, which is good because my estimates are notoriously optimistic. So, I should warn you about dinner. I attempted to make camping paella. It's either going to be incredibly delicious or hazardous waste. There's very little middle ground with my cooking. 7 years of Girl Scouts. I got kicked out eventually for excessive experimentation with fire starting techniques, but the basics stuck with me. The stargazing should be perfect around 11 p.m. That gives us time for a dinner, a soak in our hot spring, and proper dark adaptation for our eyes. I followed this recipe exactly for once. My therapist suggested that cooking might be one area where creative interpretation isn't always beneficial, especially after the blue spaghetti incident at my family's Thanksgiving. So, I have a confession to make. This trip isn't just about the meteor shower, although that's definitely happening, but really, I wanted some time with just us. Away from school and people with the whole high school hierarchy thing. I know I come on strong. I talk too much. I make weird jokes when I'm nervous, and I definitely cross several personal boundaries with my elaborate research into your favorite snacks and music, but underneath all that, I really like you. Not just in a you're the shiny new student way, and you actually listen when I talk and you don't seem terrified by my intensity way. Really? Because I've been analyzing our every interaction with a spreadsheet tracking positive responses versus polite tolerance. The data was promising, but statistics can be manipulated. The hot spring should be ready now. I brought swimsuits. Unless you forgot yours, which means... I'm kidding. I packed extras in 3 different sizes based on careful observation and educated guessing. Even though this isn't a real hot spring, it's pretty magical, right? Like something out of a movie. Quirky indie coming-of-age film, not a horror movie where campers get hunted by forest creatures. Though I did bring my bear spray just in case. The show should be starting soon. I brought us these big fluffy towels for after our soak. We can lay them on the ground for optimal star viewing. I also have hot chocolate with cinnamon, my mom's secret recipe. The secret is a concerning amount of cinnamon. There, did you see that one? Make a wish. That's not actually an astronomical tradition, but it should be. What did you wish for? No, don't tell me. Unless you want to. I wish for... Wait, I'm not supposed to say it out loud. But it may have involved you. And me. And possibly not failing our chemistry exam next week because multitasking wishes is efficient. I've never seen anything so beautiful. Is this okay? I'm trying to be less impulsive with the whole touching thing. My therapist gave me a flowchart for appropriate physical contact progression. I think hand-holding was week 3, but I'm accelerating the timeline. This is nice. Just us and the universe. Did you know that some of these meteors are dust from a comet that's been orbiting the sun for thousands of years? We're basically watching cosmic history burn up in real time. Can I tell you something? Before I met you, I had this whole plan for senior year. I was going to focus on my college applications, finally perfect my blue cookie recipe, and definitely not develop any intense crushes that would take over my entire thought process. That last part is obviously not working out, but I'm kind of okay with that because you're not like other crushes I've had. You don't seem freaked out by my everything, and you came camping with me based on a hand-drawn map and the promise of possibly a fictional hot spring. That's either very brave or slightly concerning for your self-preservation instincts. You know what else is a fun astronomical fact? When you look at the stars, you're seeing them as they were in the past. Light takes time to travel, so maybe somewhere in the universe, there's a planet where someone is just now seeing the light from Earth at the exact moment we met. Isn't that wild? Sorry, I'm talking too much again. I do that when I'm nervous. And being this close to you definitely makes me feel nervous. The good kind of nervous, like butterflies. But if the butterflies were taking a physics exam they didn't study for. You don't need to be nervous. Despite evidence on the contrary, I'm actually not expecting anything. Just being here with you is more than enough. Although, I've been thinking about kissing you since approximately 3 minutes after you sat next to me in English class. That's 43,200 minutes of contemplating the statistical probability of this exact scenario, which according to my calculations, it was about 17%. Not great odds. But I've always been an optimist. But I don't want to pressure you. No pressure whatsoever. Zero pressure. Although I did pack mint breaths for both of us. Again, just being prepared. Really? You're sure? Because once you kiss me, fair warning, I'm going to analyze every microsecond of it and probably create a commemorative scrapbook, complete with star charts mapping the exact position of the constellations at the moment it happened. I think the universe is giving us a sign. That was statistically significant. We should probably verify the results with further testing for science. I should tell you something else. Something I haven't told anyone yet. I applied to the same colleges as you. All 5 of them. plus 2 backups in case my grade in chemistry tanks after spending all classes staring at you instead of the periodic table. You're not mad? Most people would find that level of coordination creepy. My therapist suggested I inform you rather than letting you discover it through freshman orientation. Progress. This might sound weird, although at this point that's probably expected from me, but I feel like I've been waiting for this moment. Not just tonight, but you. Like all my weird interests and oversharing tendencies and color-coded binders were preparing me for someone who wouldn't run away screaming. And don't worry, I'm not planning or writing yet. That scrapbook is still in the draft phase. Kidding, sort of. But seriously, thank you for coming on this adventure with me. For giving the weird girl a chance. We should probably get some sleep eventually. The tent situation remains slightly problematic size-wise, but on the plus side, you'll be protected from bears by both my bear spray and my endless sleep-talking about quantum physics. For tomorrow, I have a whole itinerary planned, including a hike to a supposedly haunted abandoned fire lookout tower and a picnic featuring my latest experimental sandwich creation, marshmallow brie and a blackberry jam on sourdough. It sounds weird, but trust me, it is life-changing. Maybe we could do this again sometime. I'm thinking about a midnight planetarium break-in next. I know a guy who works in security there too. This apparently runs in the family. This whole befriending security guards for illicit educational activities thing. Well, ta-da! Our 5-star accommodations. Maybe more like 2-star. If the stars are very small and close together. Just like we'll be. I promise to respect all appropriate boundaries. My therapist would be so proud of this moment of personal growth. Although I should warn you, I've been told I sometimes recite the periodic table in my sleep. Only the noble gases, though. I have standards. Hey, for what it's worth, this has been the best night of my life. Regardless of the questionable hot spring, potentially bird-filled woods, and tent clearly designed for hobbits. Sweet dreams. May your sleep be as peaceful as a quantum particle that stopped moving in absolute zero. Too nerdy? Yeah, that was too nerdy. I'll work on my romantic pillow talk. Good night. And just so you know, in the morning I'll probably be watching you sleep for at least a few minutes before you wake up. Not in a creepy way, in a appreciating this unbelievable moment way. My therapist says intent matters. Best camping trip ever. Okay, before we arrive, I need to give you a comprehensive briefing on what to expect. I prepared these flashcards with detailed information about each family member, their quirks, trigger topics, and optimal conversation starters. I've organized them by threat level, and by that I mean how intense they might be. Green is manageable, yellow is prepare yourself, and red is, well, just remember your escape routes, which I've mapped up here. We should practice some responses. When my grandmother Willow asks about our Celestian compatibility, and she will ask, just nod and say you feel aligned with Jupiter. She respects Jupiter. Don't mention Mars. We don't talk about Mars in this family. Also, I hope you don't mind, but I've been recording your voice patterns to create a family reception prediction algorithm. The results were inconclusive, but I'm cautiously optimistic. I calculated a 63% of my family not completely traumatizing you, which is actually the highest score any of my theoretical partners ever received. We're almost there. Just remember, whatever happens, whatever you see, whatever anyone asks you to drink or sign or donate generic material to, just know that I'll make it up to you later with that chocolate cake you like from Angelo's. Also, my childhood bedroom is mostly the way I left it, except for the shrine, but don't worry about that. That's like barely even noticeable anymore. Ready for this? Just remember, I warned you.
The universe whispered your arrival to me in my morning meditation. The hummingbird that visits my window sang your name in Morse code.
We're right on time. I texted her 20 minutes ago.
Oh, your hands have touched exactly 17 doorknobs in the past week. I can feel it. And you've recently encountered a cat with healing powers. The cat told you nothing, but it knew things.
Mom, remember our agreement about personal boundaries? The one we wrote on parchment paper and ceremonially burned?
But darling, the moon goddess Selene herself guided me to prepare this special welcoming elixir for your desired one.
It's actually just pretty good blueberry tea. Mom just can't serve anything without claiming it has mystical powers.
Come on in. I prepared a feast blessed by my spirit guides. Each dish was created while he channeled a different deceased celebrity chef. The lasagna is inspired by Julius Child's essence, but with my own special twist. I hope you don't mind, but I've been commuting with your spirit animal to better understand your tastes. That's why I made sure to include your favorite herbs and spices. The owl spirit told me you prefer rosemary and thyme.
Mom, the relationship investigation board was supposed to be in a meditation closet, not hanging in the dining room when humans can see it.
Shh. I just have a few questions for the historical record. At what precise moment did you first feel a shift in your hypothalamus regarding my daughter? And have you ever experienced any prophetic dreams about spring prior to meeting her? Many soulmates report precognitive recognition.
Oh, and this is my cousin Nova. Nova, remember what we discussed about personal space and not materializing next to people without warning? I'm conducting field research on spring's mate selection process. Your arrival presents a statistically significant case study opportunity. Please complete this 10-page questionnaire about your human experiences and potential supernatural encounters. Pay special attention to Section 7 regarding past life memories and Section 12 about your tolerance for experimental cuisine. Nova, remember what the therapist said about overwhelming new people? The questionnaire can wait until at least the second visit. Very well, but I still require baseline observational data. Hold still, please. I'm detecting your past lives. Oh, you're definitely a medieval turnip farmer in one life and possibly a sentient cloud in another. Let's just go say hello to my grandma before Nova decides to perform an impromptu past life regression, which she did actually try to do to the mailman last week. Grandma Willow, this is...
I know exactly who this is. The culmination of my trajectory I calculated 3 years, 7 months, and 12 days ago. Just as I predicted, the lifeline intersects the heart line at precisely the Jupiter rising position. I've been documenting Spring's romantic probability matrix since she was 3 years old and showed statistically significant preference for blue crayons, which indicated a future partner with strong analytical tendencies.
Grandma has a background in astrophysics and statistics and also crystal healing. It's an unusual combination.
Would you mind terribly if I took a small sample of hair from my genetic compatibility archive? Just a snippet, hardly noticeable, for science.
Grandma, we talked about this. No DNA collection without explicit verbal consent.
Very well. But at least let me show him the documentation. I've been recording Spring's development with particular attention to her partner selection indicators. Note here how at age 6, she created a detailed ranking system for evaluating playground companions. I've already run 17 different probability scenarios for their potential offspring. The likelihood of above-average analytical capabilities is quite promising.
Oh, Grandma, please, we haven't even discussed children yet.
The universe doesn't wait for discussions, dear. It operates in mathematical certainties.
Oh, Nova's here again. Would you like to see my research lab? I prepared a special demonstration. Yes, let's go see Nova's lab. Right now, immediately. Welcome to Nova's interdimensional embassy. Please tuck your head about entry and try not to make direct eye contact with any of the shadow people who sometimes visit. I am the official ambassador to 17 different fairy kingdoms and 4 monster realms that exist under my bed. But recently, I've been communicating with Spring's future children who visit me in dreams. They say you look exactly like their descriptions. This is for you. 3 gnomes help me make it under the full moon. It will protect you from the dream-stealing badgers and also serves as formal identification in the fairy courts should you ever be summoned. Also, I put a tracking device in it, but Spring made me deactivate it.
It's just string and cereal, although I'm not entirely sure about the tracking device part.
I've been observing Spring since the moon told me she would find her true love this year. I've drawn pictures of you future together based on my dreams. The lizard people who live in the center of the earth told me you two are meant to be together. They have never been wrong before, well, except about the end of the world. They predicted that wrong 6 times now.
She predicted my parents would transform into peacocks last summer. We had to convince her that it happens very slowly, 1 feather at a time.
Let's go check with Mom before she summons anything that needs to be exercised later.
I'm channeling the spirit of Wolfgang Puck, but he keeps arguing with the ghost of my grand aunt Mildred, who just insists the recipe needs more eye of newt. Not real newt eyes, of course, but that's just what she called paprika.
Mom, please tell me you're making actual edible food and not another one of your conceptual meals.
Of course, darling. I prepared everyone's favorites, including a special welcome dish for our guests that will bind your souls for 7 different lifetimes.
What exactly is in that welcome dish?
Oh, just things from my garden and a few items I borrowed from your hairbrush, some essence of your first crush, and a tiny piece of that birthday cake from when you were 7, the one you wished for true love on. Nothing synthetic.
Mom, do we learn nothing from the Valentine's Day incident of 2022? The restraining order was very specific about love potions.
Oh, fine. I'll make the regular lasagna instead of the soul marriage stew. But your father and I ate this exact recipe on our 3rd date, and now we share dreams 3 nights a week.
I think I should show you my room now before Mom tries to read our future in the leftovers or Nova attempts another seance to contact your unborn children. So, this is my childhood bedroom. Haven't changed much since high school. Just try not to judge me too harshly, okay? Welcome to where it all began. My earliest research headquarters. That's the shrine I mentioned. It's not as creepy as it sounds. It's just my theoretical partner analysis project. I started this in 6th grade after my first crush rejected my 37-page analysis of why we should hold hands at recess. Apparently that's weird and scary to most 11-year-olds. This is where I tracked statistical likelihood of finding someone matching my optimal compatibility factors. This section right here calculated the geographic probability of distribution of potential matches within a 500-mile radius. In this corner, well, this is where I started adding characteristics that match you last year we met. And this is something I've never shown to anyone. I wrote this last year, before I even met you. It's basically a blueprint of exactly the kind of relationship I wanted. The kind where someone doesn't run away when I go full spring mode on them. I know my family is a lot. I know I'm a lot. Most people can't handle this level of intensity, especially when they see where it comes from. But you stayed. You didn't run away screaming when Grandma asked for DNA samples or when Nova tried to classify your human subtype. My whole life I've been cataloging, analyzing, and documenting everything, trying to make sense of the world. I made charts and graphs trying to calculate the probability of finding someone who would accept all this. Accept me. And the calculations always came back with discouraging odds. But here you are, defying all my statistical models. Hold on. I need to document this precisely for my records. First kiss in childhood bedroom occurred at approximately... Yep, and that's exactly the kind of thing most people will run away from. Thank you for not being most people.
Spring! The moon goddess is whispering that it's time for the family welcoming ceremony. Is your guest ready to receive his spirit animal tattoo? It's temporary ink. Mostly. And I've calibrated the compatibility calculation software. It only needs a small blood sample.
I prepare the fairy ring for his official introduction to the gnome council that lives in our garden. So, want to escape through the window? I have a rope ladder and a getaway route mapped out. I've been using it since I was 12. Or we could go downstairs and face the full Weir family experience together. Your choice, but just know that the second option is probably involving wearing some matching family crystal pendants and possibly a ceremonial chant. Either way, this is going in my relationship documentation as a significant threshold event, and possibly chapter 3 in our future relationship autobiography. And just so you know, Grandma's already calculated our wedding date based on celestial alignments. No pressure, though. She's only been right about these things 7 times out of 9. Welcome to the family. We're weird, but we're also yours now. No returns or exchanges permitted. Hey, wake up. It's 4:17 a.m. on our wedding date. I've been awake since 2:36 calculating final probability matrices. According to my algorithms, we have a 94.3% chance of a successful ceremony if we start preparations now. I've updated the wedding emergency response manual overnight. It now includes protocols for 17 new worst-case scenarios, including unexpected temporal anomaly and spontaneous musical number outbreak. That last one has a surprisingly high probability given my mother's recent interest in flash mobs. I know we're not supposed to see each other before the ceremony, but technically that tradition originated to prevent arranged marriage participants from fleeing upon seeing their partner. Since I've already cataloged all your facial expressions in my expressions of my beloved journal, I think we're safe from Asian superstitions. Plus, I needed to check on you. I had a dream that you were abducted by my childhood stuffed animal seeking revenge for abandonment. Dream you was remarkably calm about it. I prepared a special wedding day sunrise ritual. The alignment of Venus is particularly auspicious this morning. Here, put on this crystal necklace. It's calibrated to our specific love frequency, a sound wave I created by mathematically combining our heartbeats. According to my wedding day schedule, version 16.4 with contingency algorithms, we have exactly 22 minutes for our sunrise meditation before phase 1 of our wedding preparations begin. I've color-coded today's schedule with 7 different highlighters. The neon green sections indicate moments where statistical analysis suggests we might need emotional support. I can't believe we're actually doing this. You're really marrying me. You had approximately 730 days since meeting my family to run away screaming, yet here you are. My statistical models never predicted a probability this high for long-term relationship success. Oh, that's my mother. She's at the venue already. Apparently she arrived at midnight to begin the energy purification process. The venue coordinator is threatening to call the police because my mom brought 17 caged doves for a quantum love release that wasn't in our contract. Hello? Mom, we discussed this. The dove release was vetoed after the incident at Cousin Rainfall's wedding. Yes, I know this symbolized eternal devotion. No, I don't think the wedding planner will accept payment and crystals. Mom, are you currently standing inside a salt circle? Is that why the venue coordinator can't approach you? Please remove the salt barrier and apologize to Mr. Chen. We should probably head to the venue sooner than planned. My mother has already set up what she's calling the matrimonial transformation station at the bridal suite. Last I heard, Nova was helping her arrange crystal grids according to her secret geometry of her love story. Welcome to Wedding Command Central. Do you like it? I've transformed the bridal suite into a fully operational strategic headquarters. I set up monitors tracking weather patterns, guest arrivals, and the positions of Mercury and Jupiter. That small satellite dish by the window is monitoring solar flare activity. Not strictly necessary, but better safe than sorry. This is a special aromatherapy blend I created to optimize brain function and memory encoding. Studies show that scent is strongly tied to memory formation, so I've decided a custom fragrance to help us remember every detail of today. It's a combination of lavender, sandalwood, and a trace amount of the pheromones I extracted from your favorite t-shirt.
There's my cosmic starlight on her convergence day. These spirit guides woke me at exactly at 3:33 this morning to prepare your aura strengthening elixir.
Just drink it. My analysis shows a 76% reduction in wedding stress if we simply comply with Mom's rituals.
I finished blessing the reception space with traditional family chants. The caterers were very accommodating once I explained the spiritual significance of rearranging their serving stations to align with ley lines. Though they seemed confused when I insisted the appetizers be served in the pattern of their birth constellation.
Mom, we talked about this. The appetizer constellation was scheduled for phase 3 of today's plan, after the ceremony.
The universe does not adhere to human scheduling, sweetheart. The alignment was perfect for manifestation at 9:17 a.m. Also, I assigned your spirit animal guides to each table instead of those boring numbers you planned.
Don't worry, I anticipated this. See tab 7 in the wedding contingency binder? Mother's spontaneous redecorating. I've already calibrated the seating algorithm to incorporate spirit animal designations. Spring! I finished setting up my social experiment station. This wedding provides an unprecedented opportunity to study mate selection validation rituals across multiple demographics.
Nova, please tell me you're not making the guest fill out questionnaires again.
Of course not. The survey is now digital. Upgraded QR codes discreetly hidden throughout the venue. Also, I set up facial recognition software to track emotional responses during the ceremony. For science.
Do you see what I mean about my family? They're actually showing remarkable restraint today.
Last week, Mom suggested releasing butterflies from inside the wedding cake, and Noah wanted to tag guests with GPS trackers to create a movement heat map of the reception.
Excuse me, Miss Spring. I'm Minister Joan. We spoke on the phone about the ceremony. I just wanted to check in about the traditional elements we discussed.
Mr. Joan, perfect timing. I've completed the final draft of our ceremony structure. It now incorporates both traditional wedding elements and the sacred rituals required by my family's unique spiritual heritage.
I thought you said you weren't religious.
Oh, no, we're not. We follow the cosmic principles of whatever Mom discovered on her latest meditation retreat. Currently, it's a blend of quantum physics, astrology, and something she calls interdimensional chakra alignment.
Right. About the unity ceremony involving fire?
Oh, don't worry about that. The fire risk assessment came back with acceptable parameters. I've installed flame-retardant materials all around the altar and secured 3 different types of fire extinguishers. Besides, the flames symbolize the burning intensity of our eternal commitment, or possibly the destruction of negative energy, depending on which page of Mom's spiritual guidebook you're reading.
I think I need to review my insurance coverage.
She seems great, right? Very adaptable. I interviewed 17 different officiants and she scored highest on my tolerance for unusual family dynamic scale. Ooh, it's time for me to get dressed. My gown is a special design I created with an engineering student from MIT. It has constellation patterns made from tiny LED lights that synchronize with the ceremony music. The constellation represents every significant moment in our relationship from our first meeting to your proposal. Plus, I've sewn a piece of your favorite childhood blanket, the one your mom showed me, into a hidden pocket over my heart. It's both your something blue and my way of keeping part of your history with me as we create our future.
Spring, emergency situation. The universe is sending conflicting signals about your hairstyle. The morning meditation suggested an updo, but pendulum now is indicating loose waves would better channel the celestial energies.
That's what he calls. See you at the altar. Remember, if anything goes wrong, consult the emergency binder. Section 3 covers cosmic interruptions and Section 4 addresses family-induced chaos. I love you! We made it! According to my calculations, getting to this point without a major crisis puts up in the top 12 of wedding statistical outcomes. Though Noah did have to talk to Mom about releasing doves into the venue. Twice.
Dearly beloved, we're gathered here today.
I modified her script to reduce redundancies and increase emotional impact by 47%. Also, I added that quantum entanglement metaphor I've been working on.
To join these two souls in matrimony. A union, the bride has informed me, is not just symbolic, but, quote, a statistical improbability that defies multiple algorithms predicting relationship success rates.
See? She's nailing it.
Spring and her beloved have chosen to write their own vows, which the bride has assured me have been optimized for maximum emotional resonance through 17 drafts and 3 focus group tests.
My statistical anomaly, my outlier, my data point that has refused to follow the predicted pattern. 2 years ago, when you met my family, my relationship algorithm gave us a 37% chance of making it to our 3rd date. Yet here we are, defying probability and proving that sometimes the most beautiful conclusions are the ones we can't calculate. I've spent my life documenting, analyzing, and trying to predict the unpredictable. I created charts for everything, believing that if I could gather just enough data, life would make sense. Then you came along. The one variable I couldn't control. The one person who looked at all my weirdness and just smiled. I brought visual aids. This graph shows my happiness levels before and after meeting you. As you can see, there's a statistically significant uptick. And this pie chart breaks down all the reasons I love you, with the largest segment simply labeled as accept my intensity without judgment. I promise to love you with the same thoroughness I applied to my research. I will document our life together with the same passion I bring to cataloging celestial events. I will analyze our challenges with the same determination I used to solve complex equations, and I will cherish our love with the wonder I feel when discovering a new constellation. I also promise to limit my relationship spreadsheets to one per month and to consult you before installing any more monitoring devices in our home.
By the power vested in me and the state, and apparently also the cosmic convergence of Jupiter and Venus in the 7th house, I now pronounce you married.
This is the part where the LED constellations on my dress should synchronize with the hidden protectors to create a miniature universe around us during our kiss. Well, 2 out of 3 star projectors is still a 67% success rate. Kiss me, husband. The reception is maintaining an 82% ideal energy flow according to my metrics. Even Mom's spontaneous trance channeling during the father-daughter dance couldn't disrupt my happiness algorithm today. Nova has officially declared our wedding the most data-rich social bonding ceremony she's ever documented. She's collecting 4 notebooks of observations and has already started graphing guest interaction patterns. She's calling it her Anatomy of a Successful Mate Selection Celebration. Oh, poor Minister Joan. Mom cornered her by the cake and is probably explaining her theory about how wedding ceremonies create temporary portals to her alternate dimension. Last I saw, Joan was on her 3rd glass of champagne and actually seemed interested in Mom's crystal collection. I've been meaning to show you something all day. Remember the journal you found in my childhood bedroom? The one where I documented my dream relationship? Well, I kept writing in it. This page is from a year ago. See what I wrote? Future prediction. Wedding day with someone who loves the chaos. I even drew this little picture of us in an altar with my mom releasing doves and someone who looks suspiciously like Noah taking notes. I documented this dream, but you made it reality. Oh, I almost forgot to tell you about our honeymoon. I prepared a comprehensive binder, of course, complete with hourly itineraries, weather pattern analysis for the past decade at our destination, and contingency plans for 23 potential emergency scenarios. I've also mapped the star visibility for each night so we can continue our tradition of stargazing, and I may have packed a small telescope and possibly a portable planetarium projector for cloudy nights. Also, I've already researched our future home. Actually, I may have already purchased it. Surprise! The cosmic energy alignment was too perfect to pass up, and the property has the ideal garden space for Mom's fertility crystals. I know we agreed to wait, but the statistical probability of finding another house with that precise directional alignment to Jupiter was less than 0.002%. Our future has a 97.8 likelihood of exceeding all standard happiness metrics. I've run a simulation thousands and thousands of times accounting for all variables. Though, to be completely specific, I should acknowledge that my algorithms may be slightly biased by the fact that I love you more than I've ever loved anyone or anything, even my limited edition star mapping software. Oh, Nova appears to be installing something on their head table. I should probably investigate before she completes whatever experiment she's conducting on our wedding guest dance patterns. Meet me under stars in 10 minutes. I calculated the exact spot where the moonlight creates a natural spotlight at 9:42 p.m. Mom says it's a cosmic blessing point, but I just think it'll make for amazing photos. Our first dance as a married couple under the actual stars. How's that for an on-brand of the weird girl who never stopped looking at the sky? Thank you for choosing this life. For choosing me. With all my quirks and calculations and cosmic theories. I promise our story will be the most well-documented, thoroughly analyzed, and genuinely magical love story ever recorded. Complete with footnotes, appendices, and at least 17 volumes of the complete history of us. Volume 1 is already nearly complete. I'll show you tonight. I've titled it Statistical Improbability: How the Weird Girl Found Love Without Toning Down the Weird. Spoiler alert, it has a very happy ending.